Hi guys, welcome back to this week's episode of The Side Quest. Sam, this week I'll be turning my boring fireplace into something a little bit more special. Custom mantelpiece, lights, LED strip, TV, everything we need to turn this space from boring to a little bit more exciting. And this is not a tutorial, so I don't know if you should be copying what I do, but this is how I did it. So I ran to Lowe's and grabbed some 8-foot long tongue and groove planks. These are going to match my ceiling and the two beams either side of the fireplace. Buying 8-foot lengths of tongue and groove is the best way to get this much pine for cheap. So we are going to be cutting off the tongue and the groove so we have a nice edge to chamfer our 45s. I'm going to be using one of my favorite tools, which is the table saw, and I'll be taking off 15mm off each side. And now you're left with a nice clean board. And the reason we did that is so we can get this nice 45-degree bevel. So when you butt them up together, this miter joint will be seamless along the edge. And we're going to be using a router with a nice 45-degree bit. Now, because we use a small router bit, we have these leftover tabs, I guess you'd call them, which we're gonna take off so it's just a straight 45s. Look, sometimes you just have to use the tools you have on hand, and right now we are going completely primitive. But I promise we'll clean it up even though you'll never see it. After you've taken these off, sanded them, ground them down, however you want to do it, this is what it should look like. Quick little mock-up. See, I told you it wouldn't be so bad, and you can't even see it. Okay, this interior measurement here of 70mm is going to be our framing size for the legs and the mantelpiece. Cut our 2x4s down to 70mm to fit inside. 2x4s also pretty inexpensive. We're going to rip these down to 70mm on the table saw like we did just before. I'm going to cut down some 4-inch blocks. It's the last bit needed for the framing. Now that we have our framing all laid out, let's screw it all together. So when you finish that, you should have 2 baby legs and 1 mantelpiece. I was debating whether to do this inside or out here. I have to stay in it, so it's probably better to do it out here, keep the mess outside rather than inside. But yeah, we'll screw the top to the bottom, to the legs, to the mantle, to the legs, and glue it, because I don't really like squeaks. Squeaking is kind of annoying. So now that the frame is all glued and screwed together, we are going to cut down our tongue groove siding to cover the frame. I also need to make sure I have a 3/4 inch hangover on each side so we can get that nice 45-degree edge with no seam showing. Looking at these angles, making sure they're looking good. This side here and this side here will also have to be routed to fit this piece. But it's looking pretty good. And after I've done all that fine tuning, it is now time to glue, screw, and nail everything together. So while we have this upside down, I'm going to fill all these holes. So I'm going to fill these holes, use my belt sander to get this nice and flat. We are going to be figuring out cable locations. So this is the center here, the TV stands on either side. We need to get some cables from here, along here, and out this side here. This little panel here will be a removable panel in case there's any problems. But let's put some notches in these little cross members here so we can pull cables through. We're going to put in a draw wire. Now with this draw wire, we'll be able to pull through power cables, TV cables, LED strip cables, anything we need through the mantelpiece. So we'll have no hanging cables over the fireplace, keeping it neat and tidy. If you get distracted like me and get carried away playing with the camera rather than actually doing work, this is what you'll come across. I've actually put the top bit on, it's glued and nailed. And I need to put these brackets on the back here. And these brackets are going to be countersunk into this rear timber and attached with these bolts. But obviously, with the top glued and screwed on, I can't get these bolts in. So we're going to have to make some little inspection plates. Just notched out the first one. Looks pretty good. And the bracket sits right in there. Got both the bolts in. Things didn't necessarily go as planned. But okay, it's good recovery. Here she is finished. Hopefully you watch this video first and do this before you put this bit on. I've glued that, shot it, and we'll putty it. You won't be able to tell because the TV is going to hang in front of this, obviously. You know, it's just part of today's story. Alright, last second change of mind. As usual, pull those brackets off. We are going to router a little channel with some LED strip. Alright, it's finally time after all the screwing and gluing to get this bad boy outside and stain it. Now, if you're watching this before actually building one of these, good chance that you can avoid the mistake that I'm about to make and make sure you seal it before you stain it. Unfortunately, I make a big mistake right here. So I ended up finishing this staining process, taking the mantelpiece inside, and it didn't match at all. So I took it back outside and proceeded to sand it all down after arguing with my wife and starting from scratch. Alrighty. Hardly have any stain left. It's just pretty much this wet rag. So we're going to stain the front. Let's see how far that gets us. Damn, it's not much in there. So I ended up going back to the store and grabbing some more stain. Unfortunately, we were being creative, so we made our own stain previously out of 3 different colors. So we tried to stain match them, got it pretty close, and finished the project. Ended up looking pretty good. Slapped a little bit of black paint on the TV brackets, and now it's time to get it inside. I was absolutely terrible at maths at school, so it's pretty incredible this thing fits perfectly. Also, the stain worked out amazing as well. Pretty happy with the result. Unfortunately, behind this rock face, I thought I was going to be able to find some studs. Couldn't find them. Couldn't figure out how they framed it. Tried to attach some screws into the cement board behind the rocks. Wasn't getting a good grip, so decided to go with some spring butterfly clips and some shims to get these nice and straight and strong. Alright, I've just chucked a bit of blocking in behind these points here, just to sturdy these up. Bit of tension on those bolts as I push against the rock and pulls on the concrete board behind it. I've got these absolutely perfect, and I have full confidence that this is going to hold until I sell the house. No, I'm joking. I have full confidence because I believe, I'm no scientist, but the weight of the television is transferring down the brackets through the mantelpiece, and the butterfly screws into the fireplace are just stopping the mantelpiece from falling forward. And maybe taking a bit of the weight of the TV, but I'm pretty confident. I'm going to chuck in some LED strip. It comes with every color ever known to man, but I just need the warm white and the dimmable feature. Pretty good stuff this on Amazon, pretty cheap. So we'll chuck it in and see how it goes. So I've got the strip all the way in the channel measured out. And you can cut this strip, but you can only cut it on these little joins here. So the draw wire that we ran before goes into the back here through this cavity here and pops out the side here. So I'm going to tape on the LED strip power and the TV power cables and run them out here. LED power and the cutoff end for the TV power. Luckily I've got long arms, so should be able to do. The LED strip can now be plugged in to the controller, and the power cable can be pulled so it runs down all the way to that outlet. I did grab a 3-pin plug for the TV power, wired it on. I'm not sure if I should show you how to do it, so you should probably consult your local electrician or watch someone else's YouTube video and copy it off that. As you can see now, power for the TV The last two items on the list are two wall lights, wall sconces. These pretty cool green mid-century up and down lights. One to shoot here, one to shoot up across the rock onto the roof, which I think are pretty cool. So we need to mount these on here with some wall boxes, run the cables from the bottom up into the wall box, terminate it. We should be done. Thanks for watching. I'm going to leave you with a couple of shots of my finished living room. I hope you like it. We'll see you again next time.